friends, welcome back to Nessa's Nook. So the other day I was asked by one of the subscribers, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, and I told you that I would see what I could try to find as far as a recipe. Now I put that on my community page, and Rita, she's one of the people who watches my channel all the time. She sent me this one woman who I've watched, and somehow I became unsubscribed from her, and I really like the way she cooks. And I watched her video and I'm like, that's the one that I want to do. So I'm going to kind of like do it my own way because, you know, that's just how I roll. So I am going to make my second attempt ever in my lifetime of some chicken and dumplings. Now I know when my daughter lived here, she actually had made us up a really yummy batch. However, she doesn't live at home. And, you know, to have her come over here and show me what she did, you know, she's just busy. So, anyways, I went ahead and I started melting in the butter here. I'm going to go ahead and start throwing in my vegetables. And I'll show you what we're doing here. Alright. So, I have my butter in here. And I didn't want to make up more onions than I already have. So, I'm just going to go ahead and put in what I do have here. And get those out of my out of my Vidalia Chop Wizard that I love so much. And get that kind of like stirred around for a minute. And I do have this on low. So this shouldn't, you know, it should take a minute for it to go ahead and cook up and stuff. Now, I do have some of my celery from us chopping that up this weekend. I'm not measuring it because I would just prefer to have a little bit more vegetables. And today, earlier today, I had a whole chicken in my freezer. And I didn't make a video of it or anything, but I just put it in the Instapot and then the carrots. And I put it in the Instapot and I cooked it. And while I'm getting this part done, Mark is going to start taking some of that chicken off the bone and getting that so we can get that ready to be put in here when it's time. Alright, now I did see the lady, it's in the crack in the Instapot there. I did see her actually at this point add in her garlic. Now she used some bay leaves and stuff, but I don't use bay leaves, so I'm not going to add spices to it. And in the I couldn't remember the word dumpling. In the dumplings, there's actually, she had some sage, and sage does not agree with my stomach, and Mark is not a big fan of sage, so that won't be in the dumplings either. So from what I've seen that she did, is she went ahead and she just got this all together. And she got this mixed up, and I will go ahead and put her video in the description so you can see both of them. She is a very good cook. I'd probably eat almost anything she had. Now she said that she let hers go for about 6 minutes and stirred occasionally. And over here I have my butter, and there is a half a stick of butter. And there is 7 tablespoons of flour. Now, usually, most people who make their own roux will actually, you know, go ahead and get this all browned up and make it all... Hold on. Just pushed flour everywhere. That's a big mess. But you know how you usually let this kind of like brown a little bit? And then how that nutty smell kind of like comes out. But she actually went like one step further, and actually she made it almost like creamy. Now I haven't done the, get it a little bit more than that still, I'm sorry. I haven't made the broth yet because I didn't put the bones back in the pressure cooker and actually get that done. But I'm going to go ahead and keep cooking this here, and I'll bring you back once this gets to that stage that she had hers. I'm not even for sure if you can even see what I'm doing over there. Let me kind of do that, and then I'll bring you right back. Alright, so that's been cooking for the 6 minutes, and what she had done is she had put some of this better than bouillon in here. Let me get some of that out here. And what we're going to be doing is pretty much boiling this for 50 minutes once this broth goes in here. So Mark took and did this much chicken for me, which I think is going to be more than enough chicken. Look like a bone. I don't think it was, but it kind of looked like a bone. Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the one chicken broth because like I said, I didn't make my own yet. And my roux is not smooth like hers. I don't know what I did differently than what she did, but go ahead and shut that off. This is my roux. I mean, it's obviously been cooked long enough, so I'll be putting that in there too. That's going to help thicken that nicely. And then, because it's 6 cups, I'm just going to go ahead and measure, or not measure, but kind of like go half of this container. Right, and so I go ahead and give that a stir and get that roux kind of like all stirred up in there and everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid back on here, and I'll let this go for 50 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll be making up the what's that called again?
Dumplings.
Dumplings, I'm sorry. I don't know why I cannot think of that word today. So this is looking all pretty stirred up. Obviously it's going to get thicker as it's cooking a little bit longer, and we'll keep stirring this here and there, and I will be back. And I don't need to make the biscuits too early, but I'm going to go ahead because I'm just waiting right now. So you use 1 cup of flour. Put that back in there. And then you're going to use, getting flour everywhere all over me, 1 3/4 tablespoons of baking powder. So there's 1 and 1/2 and just a little bit more. Alright. Now what you're going to want to do before you add in the milk, and go ahead and put a little bit of salt and pepper, is and of course some garlic onion mix that I make myself, is to make sure that, because you have the baking powder in here, you're going to want to make sure that you mix that all up really good so the baking powder is all the way mixed. So to me, this would be something like, this is all-purpose flour, by the way. It would be something kind of like, almost like a Bisquick here that you're making. And what you're putting in is half a cup plus 1 tablespoon of whole milk. And I guess this is supposed to be like a wet batter. So this will, once this is all mixed, this will look all wet because you're just going to spoon this in to the top. But just make sure you don't over mix this. Get it enough to where it's actually all mixed like it already is here. So just give a couple more mixes and I'll go ahead and let that set. And then I'll just keep stirring. I'll keep stirring the mixture of the vegetables and the meat, and I'll bring it back. Alright, I'm not going to measure the peas, but I'm going to go ahead and throw in what would be at least a good cup. I'm not super fond of peas like Mark is, and that's fine. We did taste this, and I do highly suggest tasting this to make sure your flavoring is okay if you need to add any spices. And now we'll go ahead and start just putting in these balls. Now you're not going to want to stir these. What you're pretty much doing, from what I had talked to Rita upon, is that you're steaming these dumplings, alright? And maybe that's one of the things that made mine so icky when I made mine, is I think I kept stirring it, and it was just, I think we ate it that night. I mean, this has been several years ago. I think we still ate it and everything, but it was just nasty. And I've never tried again. So Joshua is the person that had asked me to look this up. So this is for you, Joshua. I hope this is something that turns out for us. The bottom tasted okay, so I'm sure the dumplings will taste okay too. And hopefully this is something that, if this turns out, this is a meal that I can start making, because both Mark and I like this, but it never turned out, you know what I'm saying? So I have the stove on low. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on for 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start a timer. Do not take the lid off, I guess, for the 15 minutes. Now, when I was talking to Rita, she said 18 minutes, but I'm following this woman's recipe, so I'm going with the 15, and we'll be back in 15 minutes and show you what dinner's looking like. Alright friends, look how fluffy those got. That is not what happened the last time I made this. So I am going to go ahead and pull a little bit of this out. And Mark can figure out how much he wants. Now, I'm trying to figure out, I was trying to talk to him about this. Ooh, that bowl's hot. I'll put another dumpling on there. If he thought that we could freeze this for the Hot Logic. But that looks amazing. I'm going to let that cool down and throw a little bit of ice in here. And I'll come back with a taste test for you. Alright friends, so here's a bite. It's still really super hot. I did put ice cubes in it, but it's still hot. We'll see how this tastes. I think I actually would have done it. That is really good. I can say probably I can make chicken and dumplings now. I mean, it wasn't really that hard. It was just a long process because of how long it took to cook things. It went together very, very simple. I mean, I think the flavor is amazing. Did you try yours?
No.
Well,
Nope, I didn't.
okay, here's Mark. He can handle hotter foods than I can.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So, thumbs up, and thank you again, Joshua, for asking for this. And then, of course, thank you very much, Rita, for sending me this link. And I know Susan had sent me some links and stuff. But for me, I am a visual learner, so to actually see a video, that was helpful for me to see how it looked versus not. And I'm really glad that when I was researching some, a lot of people actually had made theirs out of like the cream of chicken soup or cream of celery soup or the combination of both. I'm really glad that this was my stuff, not, you know, having to buy Campbell's or having to use my dried soup mix to make it into the soup. So this is very good. I think we can actually put this on a meal rotation. I don't know how often a year Mark will want this, but it's really nice that I actually did it. So that makes me feel really happy. So definitely don't touch the dumplings. Just put the lid on and let, like Rita said, just let the dumplings like pretty much steam cook. So I think that's going to work very well. And whoever else said they wanted to see me cook more things on my stove, so that's a video for you too. So thank you very much for stopping by. If there is things that you guys would like to see me make, either on my stovetop or any of my gadgets, let me know. I will try my best to try to get those out for you and see what I can come up with. So thanks for stopping by. You have a good day. Bye.